Susan H in Langhorne. Scope of work's gonna be mulch install, some bush trimming, a good bit of bed cleanup, and then topsoil and seeding. So starting up front, it's all in the front yard. Their driveways are kind of weird. It's like off this road. So I mean, if you want, you can pull down into their driveway. I've come here for an estimate in the last year, and I just park like on the street out there, which is right across the way. But whatever you want to do. So it's just mulch installed. So the beds are pretty, there's obviously a lot of weedy growth. It's been a while since they had mulch, so I'd recommend trying to really dig these out pretty good just to avoid the weeds from coming back. And then that way too, you can go kind of thicker with the mulch just to avoid callbacks. Definitely heavy with the preen, heavy with the spray. So starting up front here, so there's a rhododendron that's kind of like laying over. She wants to keep it, and that's fine. I would snip out like this one. Anything that's like dead, there's like a dead branch over there, and then there's like a bunch of viney, weedy, kind of funky stuff growing on here. If we can get out sooner rather than later before this vine starts really growing. But yank that vine off, clean up the rhododendron. You could maybe snip like some of it over here. It's kind of like laying over. The rose bushes are all going to stay, but if you see any of those vines on the rose bushes, yank them off as well. Like there's a couple on here I see. If you can pull them off just to keep the rose bushes from getting choked out. Yeah, and then just, gut it all out and then mulch this up over here. This guy, just lightly prune, don't take a lot off, it's kind of smaller. She ideally wants this one close to the same size as that, so you can prune this one up and maybe cut it, maybe not take all the way down to be the same height, but get it a little bit closer anyway. I would chop it right here, give it some light shape on that. You got a bunch of boxwoods back there. I'd say it looks like 6 or 7. So lightly prune and shape all those. Ideally try to prune them where there's a little bit of separation between all of them so that they're not all blended right together. And then also there's just some weedy growth, funky tree things growing up through there. You can see them, a couple different spots just shooting up. Just try to cut them down real low. Ideally dig them out if you can. If not, just cut them down real low. Be careful when you're in this bed too. I see a couple wires for, I guess, yeah, probably these lights. Now I'm just seeing this now, but I see a wire here, so watch that for the lights when you're cleaning up the beds. Same thing here. The beds are in pretty good rough shape, so try to bang them up pretty good. Get the spray down, get the preen, get the fresh mulch. Do have a couple plants here you see, so leave them be, but most of the rest is just weedy growth. These stones in here, try to move them over a little bit, weed this area out. There is like a little juniper in here. She said you can leave that, but the rest of it just gut it out the best you can. You don't got to go totally nuts with it. She wasn't super particular about it, but I would say spray the area when you're done for any little remnants left over. Yeah, and then that bed goes back a good bit, so just mulch obviously the whole thing. And then the last, if I didn't say it too, there's like a tiny little bed here. Just kind of cleaned it up. She's got a plastic edge in there, so no edging really needed here. But just clean it up, clear it out, mulch it. And then the last thing we're looking to do is this area. So she used to be mulch around the tree. She wants it to be grass. So I told her what we'll do is bust out all the weeds. There's some stone that's in here just like randomly. Just dig them out, toss them, over there is fine. There's also some stone there. Wherever you want to toss them is fine. She didn't care. She just wants them out of this area. And then I would rake out those like kind of mulch in here. Bring in just a little bit of like mushroom topsoil or regular topsoil, whatever, just a little bit in here, and then seed starter for hay this area. Ideally, basically this whole area. So I would smack it all with a string trimmer, maybe rake out some of that mulch to make room for a little bit of topsoil and then seed it. That's it.